Four comedians are also real good friends, working on jokes, the fun never ends. They're asking each other, is this anything? We don't need to say our names every time, do we? In the beginning? Sometimes that happens in the intro where somebody will say our names, but sometimes we don't. Does it matter?
If I was going to intro right now, I'd still say all your names.
We have it in the song, so I don't think.
Yeah, some people start listening to a podcast on episode 20 instead of episode 1, so it might be smart to keep it. Doesn't seem like a big ish.
Maybe we should say it between all of our jokes too.
Brett Druck is right. We could do that.
Thank you for seeing eye to eye, Rob Ryan.
Anthony Kapfer, what do you think?
Well, Jarret Berenstein,
I don't know who you are.
It doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter, guys. It's funny regardless. It doesn't matter where you put your hands. It is hilarious.
Okay. Anyway, let's start.
Am I jerking somebody off up here?
Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of Is This Anything? My name is Rob Ryan, and I'm here with Brett Druck, Jarret Berenstein, and Anthony Kapfer. Guys, let's dive right into some jokes today. Jarret, what is our order?
Our order today is Rob, Jarret, Anthony, and Brett.
I'm excited to go first.
Nice.
I would love to see a breakdown of who went when exactly. How many times someone's gone first or second? I'm so curious.
How many times has Anthony gone first?
So far, I have not, because for most of the time I didn't want to. Now I'm okay.
Anthony has removed the moratorium on going first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
have not
knew all of
updated
this.
the jar machine yet, so
When
it
I
took
made
a
that
long
joke?
time to reprogram the jar machine.
I was aware of all of this information.
But it's good for our audience.
It's for the listeners,
It's for the
okay?
listeners.
They don't
I
know
actually
all
did
of our
get-
inside jokes.
This is just one person. One person said, "Oh, just so you know, I don't really care about the order at all." It's like, all right. We do talk about it probably more than anybody
We
gives
talk
a shit.
about it so much.
Well, we need to think about it because it affects us directly.
I get it. It's just really not. I mean, we could just check back in between each one. It's not like I'm going to do the same jokes no matter what turn mine is.
Yes.
That's true.
Pretty unprofessional, Brett.
It doesn't really. It matters if they're listening to individual YouTube episodes, and then they watch them out of order, and we are just constantly referencing things that happened earlier in the episode. Like by the time we get to the fourth person, it is just a cavalcade of references.
It's just
to
cavalcade
earlier
Plate of
jokes.
callbacks.
It's the third beat in the Herald.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. But you're right. You're correct, listener. We talk about it. So much.
should we not
So
include
unnecessary.
this discussion in the
I
episode?
don't know.
My instinct is to just talk about it more.
Yeah.
And it's exactly
It's
what we're
solid.
doing.
That
That's
is
it.
solid.
Mission accomplished.
In fact, let's hear the order one more time.
Right. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop,
Let's sound
boop.
off when it's our, each of us just said it as well.
All right. Today we are doing Rob, Jarret, me, Anthony,
Me.
and Brett.
Brett,
I think
we
should
all
do it
sounded
again.
off a little differently.
We did it. I wasn't sure what to do. Was I supposed to say my name?
I wasn't sure what sounding off even is, but I think I figured it out.
Let's just get
I
started.
think you said
Rob,
present.
let's hear your jokes.
Oh yeah. Present or here.
Oh gosh. All right. And I'm just gonna start my timer. I'm gonna keep it
All
tight.
right.
All right. Here's a little bit I just thought of the other day. It's got a little bit of an act out element to it, so I'm gonna get in character here. My friend is one of those people who likes to personify every living creature in her house. So she's like, "Ooh, my cat, Mr. Sniffles, was jealous today because mommy got to sit in her favorite spot." And I'm just like, your cat was not jealous. Cats don't feel jealousy. It's not an emotion that cats register. She's like, "Oh, yes, she was, because Mr. Puppy Sergeant Doodles came to play. And boy, was he curious about mommy's new haircut." And I was like, dogs don't get curious about haircuts. He's like, "Oh, yes, he was. And then my 6-year-old son was like, Mommy, I'm hungry and scared. Please let me out of the basement." And I was like, your 6-year-old is not communicating fear. And wait, what? That's the little thing I came up with.
I love that.
I like it, but
I just don't know if that's the way they end it.
yeah, there's some causation there that's not quite translating for me in the bit. I love your impersonation of this woman and the way she speaks. That's my favorite part of the joke. But she says, no, he does feel jealousy because Sergeant Doodles and stuff like that. You just kind of go on to the next joke. It's like I kind of like want to hear her real justification.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
As to
I can
why
make that
she
more
thinks
clear.
he does feel jealousy. And then the jump to the kid is, I think it's too sudden for me.
Do you need justification
Those are all
for
legit.
why the kid's in the basement?
Nah.
I just
Yeah, I would like that. I always would like justification.
I love that as a misdirection, but I guess I can see where Brett's coming from.
Yeah, I think it's for a misdirection. It's a little drawn out too.
Yeah.
I also think that animals do have all those emotions. I really do think, because I've seen enough cute videos of cats being jealous and dogs being curious. You know, I think that
But you can find examples for sure.
Yeah.
I think of emotions that are too complex for them. Sorry to interrupt.
What are some emotions that you think are better for this bit? Because this is just the structure of it. The structure of it was, in my mind, I thought, okay, I want a person who applies emotions to animals that may not already be there. And then I was thinking, well, I want to get to a human eventually. And because this actually really happened to me to some degree. I remember I was at work and this woman who had a baby came in, and I've always been sort of like, there was a chip on my shoulder about people who do like overly do that with their pets. And so then I saw this mother doing it with her like newborn baby, and I had the same reaction. I was like, your baby's not curious. And I was like, Rob, it's a human. Maybe I think it can have emotions. But
Babies don't feel pain.
Yeah. And I started to, I was like, Rob, you relax. This is the animal that actually is allowed to have all the complex emotions that we assign it.
What if it was like she's petting her dog and she's like, Mr. Wiggles is worried about the election. And you're gonna be like, I don't know if the dog is aware of the election. I don't know if dogs have future thought in that way. Like, can they be worried about upcoming events like that? They're kind of in the moment. And then the next thing you can heighten to like a fan, you know? And it's like, oh, my ceiling fan is very concerned about global warming, you know, or something. That's why it's been on the fritz lately. You can just be like, I'm really sure that fans aren't worried about things.
Is that instead of the baby or before?
No, before the baby.
Oh,
and then you know.
Oh, inanimate object before talking about the baby. I would have maybe thought it was after.
The fan does hurt. In my logical flow, I think the first example is great because talking about something as worried about politics is very funny. You're right. That's something that would not make any sense.
I do really, really like that. I would love to hear you go like, I don't think he knows about the election. And she's like, no, he hates Trump. Just look, whenever we shake this Trump can of change at him, he goes nuts. Look, he hates it. He hates Trump.
That's great. Yeah, for some reason, the idea of her being a neglectful parent jumped into my head towards the end of that, and I wanted to throw that in too. So all the critiques are correct. I didn't really think through the logic of it.
But the silliness that I think is the icing of the joke is wonderful. Your impersonation of her is great.
So are we all down for her locking her child in the basement? Into some
My
degree?
favorite part, honestly.
Yeah, I think she should do it sooner. That's
I'm still I almost feel like the misdirection would be better if it was just another animal.
Yeah, but I like
because
the idea.
the way that you're revealing it, it's almost a misdirection on a misdirection. So it's like all these clever behaviors, then the variation now, it's all these personifications that aren't really exist, and then the variation now is that not only is it a human, but also that you're not treating it well. So there's two reveals in there.
Yeah, but they link to me because I am also implicitly saying that people who love animals are weird and probably abuse children.
Because she loved animals so much. Yeah, for me,
Right.
that's why it was so funny, because she's treating The cat and the dog, like children,
like humans.
Yeah,
and she's the
and
human
the child.
like,
The human child, she's like, it's locked in the basement, which people wouldn't even do to their dog if they loved their child.
yeah.
Right. If you can find a more real world example of something that people would do to their child that they wouldn't do to their dogs, put the child on a leash or something like that. That would work for me a little bit more. But I didn't. Now that you're pointing that out, that is very funny. But I didn't ultimately get that when you were telling me the joke.
How about you, Jarret? Where do you stand in this? We hear Anthony's position, Brett's position. This one's a room splitter. I like this.
You're the tiebreaker.
I don't know what's happening.
Or Jarret,
I'm kind of with Brett on this one because I feel like the misdirect is the thing that saved the bit for me, but only because there were all those other logical problems that I was having with it about like the cat and the dog actually having the emotions. I think that if you rework it, I think you're probably going to find that there's a funnier misdirect than the kid, or maybe you can get to it in a different way that doesn't, light up all those red flags that Brett was talking about.
Wow, interesting. Well, this is classic Divide.
I'm surprised.
This is nuts.
This is not Divide. We won.
But I like it so much that I feel
Rob,
like...
you don't get to vote on your own joke.
We know where you stand.
I've voted down plenty of my own jokes. I'm like, this isn't good. It's weird enough that I could see how it tickles Anthony, and it is definitely illogical enough where I could see how it might lose you guys, at least right now.
It irritates Brett.
I think that
I love the suggestion. I'm going to rework this. I'm going to make it more internally logically sound, and I think I'm going to keep the kid locked in the basement.
I think you could do both. I believe in you.
You ever see the movie El Orfanato?
No.
What is it about?
No. It's about locking a kid in a basement and he dies. It's pretty good.
Sounds like a real...
I feel like I already saw it now.
Sorry. It is the big reveal.
Is orfanato Spanish for orphan?
Orphanage, but yes.
Ah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're talking about the movie The Orphanage?
No.
Yeah, he was just showing off that he was...
I can say it in German too if you want.
Have you guys ever seen El Matrix?
It's a Spanish movie.
Are you talking about The Matrix? Yeah.
I saw it in the original España.
Well, you know what's interesting about you bringing up The Matrix is that there is actually a German movie from the late 70s called World on a Wire. And it was, I think really it was a miniseries, but like 10 years ago it was released in theaters. Mm-hmm. And the tagline was The Matrix Before the Matrix. So it's a German movie that basically the Matrix must have sort of taken a little from.
That was a very nice way of saying the Wachowskis stole this movie.
Yeah. What's even more impressive is that was the original tagline for the movie.
Yeah. That was the original, yeah. It's not exactly...
What's really going to cook your noodle is when I tell you.
Excellent.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Cook your noodle. That's a great term.
I believe it's bake your noodle.
Bake your yeah. Damn it. Well.
But one of my favorite scenes ever.
Tell you guys a really quick story that perfectly illustrates why I had so much trouble with women growing up.
Yes.
Is when I did my semester abroad.
I'm surprised you haven't just showed your picture again from high school. Sorry. It seems to be a go-to.
When I did my semester abroad, me and my friends took a weekend trip to Paris, and we were just sort of like shopping around, and I found this French Matrix poster. And I'm not like a huge fan of the Matrix, but I just thought it was funny that there was like this Matrix poster, and instead of Believe the Unbelievable, it was obviously in French, which was Quoi le incroyable. And I just thought it was funny, so I got it. And I bring it back to America, and I get into my new dorm. It's junior year, second semester, and I'm like, I'm going to put up my French Matrix poster. That'll be funny. And I open it up, and it is 10 times the size of a regular poster. And so that sells it even more for me, where I'm like, this is triple hilarious. It is an enormous French Matrix poster. And so I put it up in my room, and I was just like, everybody's going to love how weird this is. But instead, everybody who saw it was like, Jarret is weirdly into the Matrix. He has a way too big Matrix poster in his room. So there you go. Extrapolate from that. That's all the data you need.
Did women comment on it when you brought them back to your room?
One did, and I did not hook up with her. And that's the end of that story.
So you were not the one.
Knowing the path and walking the path are two completely different things.
Were you wearing a trench coat when you brought them over?
I didn't wear leather trench coats, but I did love long coats back then. So, God, I was not doing myself any favors.
Oh, no.
Don't try to put on the condom. That would be impossible.
Impossible.
You know what sucks about
The truth is, there is no condom.
That's the truth.
What sucks about taking the red pill is that it doesn't help you get an erection.
It's only the blue pill. Oh, that's great.
The red pill is the morning after pill. So
I can't believe how much mileage we got out of this. This is Patreon.
That's great.
I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
Rob, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I paused at 9 minutes when this went awry, so I'm going to.
I think safe instinct is anytime you hear anybody says the Matrix, just hit pause. It'll be a while.
Strap in.
I only had one more small thing I wanted to share then, and it was a bit of a comedy inside where I think coronavirus has been fun for me to watch comics now and see. For me, it feels like the end of a movie, and we get to watch where all the characters ended up, but we just get to watch it now. Because now it's just like, yeah, and then, John moved back to Colorado, where he went to, live with his, and everybody just kind of has gone back to wherever they probably will end up 10 or 15 years from now when they stop doing this. But it's all happened immediately. That's been so fun for me. to just
Brett became a mechanic.
Don't you forget about me.
Wilson died.
Of coronavirus.
Yeah.
Forget about me.
Jarret bought a new couch. He loved it.
That's so good.
Forget about me.
But
it's happening right now. It's just like I get to witness what 30 years in the future would have looked like, but now I just get to see it.
Which is what happens in the movies, because instead of making or filming those scenes or whatever, instead of getting the characters there, they just put some text on the screen. So it's exactly, I like it. I think it's perfect, actually.
The idea is so fun and rich, but I came up with no examples. So, you guys are you're coming up with better examples than I thought of, because I thought of nothing. But anyway, I don't know if you could think of what you've seen some of your comics friends up to, whether they've moved back home or they've done some other thing or whatever that's happened. That's the way I've felt.
Started a nonprofit, some sort of political nonprofit.
Yeah.
Frank is still grasping onto the concept of comedy producing outdoor shows. So far, he's had 0 audience members. Don't you forget about me.
Are we allowed to sing that song on the podcast?
Is that allowed? I don't know.
Do we have the rights to?
How does copyright work?
I have the rights to it.
Oh, good. Perfect.
Oh, Brett owns the rights to. They should do that when copyrights expire. They should give that copyright to just like a random person.
That'd be fun.
It'd be like a lottery. I just listened to a Malcolm Gladwell thing about lotteries, and so now I'm big on it. In my mind, Rob, that song is part of the punchline.
Yes.
I think, and when you perform it, I think that's going to be instrumental.
That's great. It's not instrumental.
Although he'll be doing it a cappella.
Exactly.
Unlike what we've been doing, which is the karaoke version.
Just because you said instrumental.
Instrumental.
Oh, that's funny. I'm an idiot.
So instrumental would be without the vocals. A cappella is only vocals.
Yes.
I'm brilliant.
I made the same joke. You missed both of our jokes, Jarret. You said it would be instrumental, and I said only it wouldn't be instrumental. It would, and as I was saying that, then Anthony jumped in with the acapella.
Oh yeah.
We're both
Yeah,
trying to
you
go for it.
idiot.
Very
Anthony.
good joke, Rob. Very good joke, Anthony.
Thank you, Jarret. That's my time, guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right.
Good stuff. I love
like-
both of those concepts.
Yes.
Which is all they are right now, I feel like. I don't think I've got the nuts and bolts. Sorry, go ahead, Brett.
Oh, I was just going to ask if one of us is supposed to give you a gynecological exam with both of your knees up there.
All right, who's next?
Are you wearing pants, or are you just in your underwear?
And now the ceremonial birth of the joke that we just fixed.
That's pretty good. How'd you get that? I think I found the problem.
Oh man.
That is priceless. You guys listening have got to check out the YouTube for
We are.
How great
we are
this
just
was.
killing it.
It won't even work on YouTube because you're underneath me, and so it's not
I
gonna-
don't think that matters. I really don't. My brain puts it together every time I
Okay.
see somebody doing a bit and then somebody else reacting to it.
It's just funnier if it works out, but
It's a little bit like you know those like French satires where people are like running through hotel rooms chasing each other, and people are ending up in hotel rooms that they couldn't possibly.
oh yeah, the
You know?
Scooby Doo thing with the
yeah,
doorways.
exactly.
Yeah, is that from French films? I always
I don't know.
associate it with Scooby Doo.
I associate with Benny Hill.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
with you,
Probably
Rob.
Benny Hill. It's probably Benny
Yeah.
Hill. Yeah.
I got to put Frank to sleep. Hold on.
Is Frank doing okay? It's just a lot of
been a
crying.
rough- it's been
pretty
rough.
spicy.
Yeah,
It's been pretty spicy today.
I haven't slept much.
All right. So this is another reworked joke from our unrecorded first episode.
Ooh.
Okay. That, again, I don't think Brett was there for. All right.
I don't think this
saying
coronavirus
it.
thing's a big deal. Sorry.
This will probably be over in a couple of weeks. Okay, starting my timer. Here we go. I feel like the culture thinks, and guys think, that the key to getting laid is to brag about how big your dick is. Like, we have this obsession with enormous dicks. But in my experience, that is a rookie move. The experts brag about having a regular dick. They brag about how normal and medium their dick is. Because here's the thing. I know that there are some women who love exploring the dangerous and exotic dick territories, the Dora the Dick Explorers who want all the dizzying highs and terrifying lows. But I think most women just want a regular dick. Most women want to have sex with a dick and then the next day not feel like their vagina went to war. You want a versatile dick. You want a dick that every woman can enjoy, not like an acquired taste dick. Like, you think that women want a premium dick, but most people don't use premium gas in their car. You know what they put in their car? Regular. You're not thinking long term. Giant dicks are not for everyday use. You try them once, or at best, they're for special occasions. You don't want to have a special occasion dick. You don't want a once a month dick. You want to have a turkey sandwich dick. You want to have a bowl of Cheerios down your pants. I like weird new foods as much as the next guy. I'll go out for a cricket foie gras sandwich. But when a woman is looking at your dick, you don't want her to be thinking, like, I can't eat this every day. And what about for a relationship? Women have to be thinking about, is this the dick that I'm going to settle down with? Is this the dick that's one day going to spit children into me? Do I really want to shove a toaster into my vagina every time I'm a little bit horny? And that's all I got.
Spit children into me is funny, but totally gross.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
I
the
figured.
most evocative line.
As you guys were laughing at that, I was like, that can't stay.
Oh, that was like, I loved that line.
Spit children into me.
All right. So, yeah, any thoughts, guys? I know that was a real mouthful, pun intended.
I
And
feel
I
like
can
it's
go-
different than.
I can go section by section if it makes it easier to give notes on it.
Is it much different than when you first brought it to us?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I tried to incorporate some of the notes that you guys gave me
Oh, okay.
in the original one. There's a lot more hand-holding in this one, whereas before I just kind of like threw the entire bit out in like one go.
I liked it a lot, hearing it for the first time.
Sweet.
I think the regular is probably that was my favorite line. The
comparing
gas.
it to gas.
Yeah.
I wanted
the
to.
gas- Sorry, go ahead.
I know. I wanted you to say unleaded, but I don't even think that's a thing anymore. Is all gas is unleaded now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They still do label it often that way, but the gas thing stuck out to me as the most. I'm trying to follow the logic for parts of it, but then when you hit the regular gas, I said, "Oh yeah, there you go. I like that." Maybe because I had a tough time knowing what you feel and mean by regular, and then that definition of that word regular was so you don't want.
Oh yeah, but the problem I think with that comparison would be like you can't really switch back and forth, right? Once you decide what kind of gas you're putting in your car, you have to stick with it, right? You can't just be like, you know what? It's my birthday. I'm doing premium. It's going to be actually more.
Is that how that works? If you put premium in your car once, you have to then always put premium in your car? I thought it was just that if you had like a high performance car, like a Porsche, you have to use premium gas in your Porsche.
Like an asshole. 3 months later.
What are we talking? What is that?
Still.
What do you mean? Would you put gas in a Porsche?
Wouldn't it just get everywhere? Maybe spill into your home?
You trying to burn your porch down? I don't understand.
Can you use a
Premium
different
make
word?
it burn faster?
Yeah, you should use a different word. There's plenty of words for cars.
My dad had a Porsche, and he always put premium in, and so there was no way that I was ever going to use a different car for this example right now. I was just in my brain.
I love the idea that diesel. I like the idea of diesel dick and diesel gas.
Diesel would be good. Yeah.
So
but I don't feel like that analogy works because people don't. Because I think that when people go to put their gas in their car, they look at premium and they're like, one day I'm going to be rich enough for this. But diesel is like so specific. It's only for like trucks and construction equipment, you know?
But that doesn't follow at least part of your logic where, I know it wouldn't work in your car. It would it would destroy your car, in fact. You're not supposed to put diesel in there. It just burns at a lower, the octane is not.
Yeah, because your car is a sensible car, but maybe if putting diesel would be like you were, driving a 18-wheeler or something, which is, I think that actually does work with your.
Yeah, you're right. You guys are right. Yeah, that'll work.
I mean, let's imagine if you were a size queen, as the kids call it, you would want the diesel dick. All
What'd you say, Brad? I missed
What kind of kids are you talking to?
Rob is tutoring a bunch of fucking sailors. The way that you multiply these long strings, I multiplied your mom's pussy last night.
She's a real size queen.
She's a size queen.
Sorry, Rob.
So if you were a size queen, as it were, then yeah, you'd be after diesel dick all the time. But it's probably because that's just the type of person that you are. But I think that you're going for a normality thing. You're like most people, most women fall into this range of of vagina size. They probably want a certain size dick. And sure, it might be fun to splash around here from time to time, but it's not something that you'd want to be consistent with. So all that logic actually makes tons of sense to me.
Okay.
So that's why I don't think
dick.
it's super weird for the diesel thing to be in there, especially with such a funny word as diesel.
I also, I think
because Nancy's putting out
same.
you would need a truck.
Yeah, and then you get to explain it a little bit, so you could have fun with that. The women, they have a sensible sedan-sized vagina, right? They can't be going for the diesel dick, I guess, is what your joke would be.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys have convinced me to switch to diesel dick.
I'll admit,
I have been drinking premium dick with my breakfast every morning, but you guys have convinced me to make the switch to diesel dick. Okay, cool. Yeah, any other thoughts about this, guys?
I liked it. There were too many lines for me to remember to give more specific ideas.
But was there enough?
They were all funny.
Trimmed down?
Well, I'm suggesting that the ones that I remember stuck out to me, and so the other ones are not. There was something about the breakfast. There was a toaster.
Do you want to just give us the bullet points?
Yeah, Yeah, sure. Let's see here.
Maybe we come up with something new.
Some women love exploring the dangerous and exotic dick territories, the Dora the Dick Explorers, who want to try all the dizzying highs and terrifying lows. Mm-hmm. But I think most women just want to try a regular dick. They want to have sex with a dick, and then the next day not feel like their vagina went to war.
I like that line.
I was going to say, even though the lines leading up to there, like Dora the Dick Explorer and stuff, they're all funny. They're not punchy enough that I think that they're just adding to clutter before you get to the first punch.
I recognize that the Dora line should make me laugh, but for some reason I didn't care for it. I don't really have a reason why.
I was on the fence about it anyways. It is kind of sexualizing a child, so I am totally fine with getting rid of it.
I see. I didn't even.
Yeah, that wasn't our problem.
That's the only thing we liked about it.
You know what? Keep it in.
I'm reading the other guys' faces. Man, we were fine with that.
I didn't.
It's funny I say that. You guys are. You know what? Like, you've convinced me. It's hilarious.
Have you seen the trailer for the live action film? We're okay.
Oh man.
All right, Dora the Dick Explorer. Just change it to the Dick Explorers.
Getting to or just getting to that war line.
The war line faster.
Was very funny,
I think that part of my instinct as a writer, whenever I have a bit like this, is I want to see what happens if I have a bit that is written so richly and densely that if I plow through it, the laughs just kind of like build and build and build.
I know.
And I feel like it's the kind of thing that Mike Kaplan does really well.
Right.
And so
I think
that's
Patton
kind of
Oswalt
what
does it as well.
Oh yeah, Patton definitely.
It's
It
part of the
reminded me
reason
a lot of that.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I don't want to, make you shy away from like words and turns of phrases that might not be 9s and 10s. They might be like 5s or 6s, but who cares? We're trying to build a thing, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's partly how you say it too, right? You said it in a way where you didn't convince me that this was part of the joke. You're almost framing it in such a way where you're making me think that it's part of the setup. So I'm kind of being like, all right, where is he going with this type of thing, as opposed to allowing me to realize that this is the joke. This is part of the joke. And some of the more performative comics are really good at that, where they are repeating those words and those lines, or they're saying it so emphatically that they're like, no, this is part of it. And maybe you just don't lean into that as much, but clearly you are writing to that style in a way. So maybe there's something to that. I'm also thinking about... Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. No, you finish.
I was going to say, I was also thinking of you saying Dora the Dick Explorer as opposed to Dick Explorer.
All right, just another reason why I'm getting rid of that line.
You see why I was...
Can you say the leading up to the first punch again, that whole thing?
Some women love exploring the dangerous and exotic dick territories, the Dick Explorers, who want to try all the dizzying highs and terrifying lows. But I think most women just want a regular dick. Most women want to have sex with a dick, and then the next day not feel like their vagina went to war.
Yeah, I think that Rob is right. If you were to alter that just like slightly, I know that there are some women who want to. What's the first thing there?
They love exploring the dangerous and exotic dick territories.
Yeah, they love exploring the dangerous and exotic dick territories. They are Dora the Dick Explorer. It is all in the performance of it, and I think you'll give people an opportunity to laugh if you do that, if you do the performance aspect of it.
Instead of Dora, what about you work Lewis and Clark into it? If you're going to lean into this exploring dangerous territories,
the Lewis and Cox,
yeah, the ball Sacagaweas, if you will. You can have it. I was going to use it for a different bit, but
Jarret's dead. He's seen God.
Oh my God, that's great! I've never seen him have that reaction.
I was a part of me. I just wanted you guys to think I was frozen, maybe. Wow, Rob, that is good. You said that you wrote that for a different bit?
No. That was just another joke. I was going to use it, but you could have. I had a really good long bit about Bull Sacagawea, but it might fit better in your joke. Mine was about politics. But this is better. It's a better fit.
Susan Peen Anthony.
Okay.
Neil, baby dick, baby arm, Strong. What do people say? It's baby
A
arm?
baby's
Yeah, baby
arm
arm
holding an
strong.
apple.
Maybe.
I think, right? Baby's
Baby
arm
holding an
apple.
apple.
Yeah.
Strong.
All right, and then there was we did the diesel thing already. You're not thinking long term. Giant dicks are not for everyday use. You try them once, or at best they're for special occasions. And you don't want to have a special occasion dick. You don't want to have a once a month dick. You want to have a turkey sandwich dick. You want to have a bowl of Cheerios down your pants.
Yeah, you can cut the fat off of that for sure.
I feel like that might be the point where you start talking about gas because I think
I
sensible
skipped over the
sedan.
gas.
Oh,
Skipped over the gas part.
because that's like the same kind of idea. It's like it's sensible.
Yeah.
You know, like a family size sedan, not like a 18-wheeler.
Sorry, how do you say it? Is it celebration dick?
Special occasion dick.
Special occasion dick. Like, you don't want special occasion dick every day, and then go straight into the example of the same way you don't want to eat this every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then go back to you want Cheerios.
You want a turkey sandwich.
Yeah, you want turkey
Something
sandwich.
about Thanksgiving, right? If
Yeah,
Thanksgiving was every day, you know.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I am missing you explaining what going out to dinner is like and how expensive it is. And like sure, I love lobster. You know, I love going out for a nice steak dinner, getting the ribeye, au jus, and getting all the fixins. But I can't do it every day. You know, what you need is you need that rice-a-roni in the cupboard.
The San Francisco cock.
Still a treat. You know, it's just the San Francisco treat. Still, you're still happy to have it. You know, isn't it fun? You open the cover, you're like, oh, I got rice-a-roni. That's good. Oh, hamburger helper. That's not bad. I'm hamburger helper. Affordable, good protein for the family.
Nice.
Protein for the family. It just makes me think of the whole family just surrounding this.
I do like the food stuff. I just think like Cheerios. Cheerios doesn't. Turkey sandwich makes sense to me, but yeah, I like the idea of canned foods, boxed foods, things that are staples of any kitchen. Just
Chef
being the
Boyardee.
replacement. Yeah, nice little can of Chef Boyardee.
Chef Boyardee.
You got
Chef
some-
Boyardee is funny because it's got the boy in there too.
Yeah, I'm just a little Chef Boyardee. I'm oodles and noodles.
And
man.
D. Also.
Yeah,
D.
Chef. That's why. That's why it's Chef Boyardee's nuts. Maybe you could work that in.
Anthony, give it a rest, okay?
I really want these nuts to fit in this joke.
we know.
That is again what I say to women. I really want these nuts to fit in. I really want these nuts
She's
to
like,
fit in.
that's not how sex works, Jarret.
I just
Don't
think it
put
would
your
be
balls
really
in.
fun for both of us if we could also fit in these nuts.
Why are you only putting in your nuts?
Just holding the penis above.
Put the penis in too. I don't know. That's what I want.
All right. Well, thank you so much for those notes, guys.
Surely.
You got some excellent dick puns.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Let's get going.
Anthony's up now.
All right. I have two ideas. I'm sort of working on a song. I don't know if I'll have time or if that's the thing that you enjoyed when I did it the other time. But
That was really fun.
I got these two jokes. And here's one that I thought of last night. And I think, Jarret, you will like this. This is, I remember you said something about this. The Boston accent, to me, is like if a sound was wearing a backwards baseball cap.
Sound was ring. So I like that. I always like talking about phonemes, which are the smallest units of sound that a baby can make, like ba or da, or any language rather. I'm sorry, not just the baby.
Okay.
But babies usually start with phonemes. So when you say sound, I'm already like thinking about phonetics and how that might play into this.
I definitely want to hear the sound.
I do want to hear the sound. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, you want to hear this? Okay.
Yeah, can you make a one syllable all encompassing Boston sound?
Ah. Is that it?
That does it for me.
Ka or something. Whatever they say. I'm not great at. It's a tough accent.
So
to do.
this is a baby crying in Boston. Wah, wah,
Wah, wah.
wah. I can't do it.
Side note: one time, Alan Fuchs was telling me about how he broke up with a girl who he was engaged to, I think. But he was like, she just had the most annoying voice, and and she wanted a baby, and I was like, I just pictured the baby having that voice, and I just couldn't do it. And I was like, yeah, but imagine if it had like your voice, and it came down, and it was like, wow, wow.
That's really
Can we
funny.
leave that in? Can we use the?
We leave it in.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd love it.
Yeah. So does X.
I told him he could use it. I think he might have.
Nice. Well, then we'll leave it in. Hello, Alan. Shout out to Alan.
I like the joke a lot, Anthony, and
You like
I think any sound you make is going to be funny to me. If you can find that perfect Boston sound, it'll be nice. But it already makes me laugh.
Okay, cool. I'll try to make the sound. Whatever I just did, when I went wah, I'm just doing a Ray Romano impression. What if Ray Romano was from Boston? Ah, God, oh God. Is that where the? Should I take the bit there? I'm not. I'm just.
I like it. I'm just trying to think if there's a better specific than hat on backwards, but I think you nailed it in one. You know, I'm just trying to think if there's like another level to it, a heightening.
It just always seems like when you hear the accent, it's that guy, that middle-aged guy with the backwards cap on.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. I feel like I've heard this since then, but when I was new in comedy, I sort of had this idea where it was talking about the New York accent and how it's really hard to sound smart with the New York accent. Mm-hmm. You know, you never hear like a scientist or a doctor or something. It's like, hey, fucking, this shit don't look right. Or what, like, you're not going to listen to that guy. I'm
Say
just
quantum physics.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I think that I had when I think I remember doing this at an open mic or something. I had something memorized from like a Wikipedia page from some quantum physics thing. It was like molecular or what, I don't know. I was just trying to do whatever I memorized, which now is not in my mind. But I did take it to a physics place, I think.
Well, so you can't say molecular without ma.
It's just unfortunate because I feel like I'm better at doing the New York accent. Since I'm from New York, I could just go into it and be like, hey, this fucking guy. But I can't do the Boston accent, really.
You said it was just a sound. It's like a sound. If a sound was wearing a backwards cap, baseball cap. And there were no other runner-ups or other things that you wanted to do. There's no like pile-on type of thing.
It's just the only thing that I thought of, just because I was watching some show last night and there was a guy from Boston. Yeah, and he was that guy, the the older guy with the cap on with that voice. You know, they're always very sure of themselves. It's never like I want to meet somebody from Boston. Well, I guess Stephen Wright would be the only example of somebody who is just not that kind of boisterous personality. Everybody else from Boston that has that voice, it's just so in your face.
Yeah, this is like, because I think that's a really funny idea too, but it requires a Boston accent impression that I do not possess.
Hey, do you think that a bunch of people from Boston got really disappointed when they went to New York to watch Wicked?
And if they enjoyed it, how would they even describe it?
I thought this was going to be a musical about the Sox winning.
Oh,
I thought this was going to be a musical about by the time I got a handy at that party.
That's not bad.
That's so
You
funny.
say you're not good at the accent. It's pretty
I have these weird moments where I nail an accent and then can never do it again. I did an improv show like a couple years ago where I just like fucking nailed an Australian accent, and I was like, oh sweet, I can do an Australian accent. And then I tried again later, and I was like, whip, it's gone.
I had this thought that you would be mistaking people who wear a hat backwards for someone from Boston, but I didn't see how that was funny. That was the only thing it was in my mind. Oh, you must be from Boston. And you're just like, I'm not.
I'm an 8-year-old kid.
I just saw you had a backwards hat on, a cap on. Damn it. But I don't know why you would need some. I just couldn't figure out why you would need to know someone's from Boston, why that would be helpful to you. So, but I figured I'd just say it.
I like the idea of just going up to everybody. Excuse me, are you from Boston?
You don't even have to tell me. I know you are. You're wearing a backwards
little
baseball.
time. Come with me if you want to live. Anyway, so that's it. I don't know. I don't know if there. I'm sure there could be more things, but that was just. That's what made me think of it, is seeing a guy that looked like that, and I was like, that's every guy from Boston, to the point where the sound of the voice makes me think that that's what that person looks like.
Yeah, maybe it's how the sound carries. Like, when the bills unforward, something about the compressive wave of the sound hits off the brim of the hat, but when you put it on backwards.
So it's more of a sound wave joke.
Yeah, something to do with how sound travels.
You have a hat, you could start saying car and then turn it backwards.
Car. All right. There's some ASMR for you. ASMR.
That even sounded like it's a fucking ASMR for you. Fucking fiance's an ASMR.
We use it as a promo clip. That's where it ends. Oh, that's good. Okay.
That's funny that you said that's where it ends while Jarret was already like in the middle of talking. And this is a clean edit.
Jarret, did you have another shit?
No, I was just doing the voice some more.
You're not even here. Jarret's just enjoying himself. Okay, so
all right. Who's up in the process of eliminator?
Up. So first it went Rob, then Jarret went, then Anthony. Now it's my turn.
Now it's Brett's turn.
Just a little recap.
And so that means you're fourth?
I'm fourth, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And I was third.
Everybody say the number they were. Everyone say the number they were.
Okay, at the same time.
Second.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No. Rob was 1. Brett. I was 2. You weren't all those numbers.
Okay,
were we supposed to say it at the same time, or were we?
I'll count down backwards. Then we all say what number we were.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, 4.
3.
What? 2. Where I was. All right, Brett's turn.
Okay. A lot of people don't know this, but in the comic books, Wolverine is Canadian. That's where he was born. Not French Canadian though. Then everybody would know because it'd be pretty obvious. Because he'd be like, Magneto, you will not mess with the X-Men, boob. I will show you how you say schling.
No notes.
Oh God.
No notes.
That's good.
Perfect.
That's good stuff. That's good. I love that Brett was sitting on that joke all hour long. Just,
I was trying to put it into your joke somehow.
He knew he had this gem ready to go.
I don't have notes either.
French,
That's great.
French.
Is there anything else? The funniest part to me is asking how you say the sounds of his claws coming out.
How you say swing.
Now, I have tried this joke in front of an audience a couple times, but getting into it was way clunkier than what I did now, and I think that might have been hurting it.
Do you remember how you got into it?
I was saying like a lot of people don't know that Wolverine is Canadian, but not French Canadian. French Canadian, that would be kind of weird. Even that was just like a little bit clunkier. I can't even go back to the way that it was, but it was a while for me to get to the accent.
I would love for you to throw in something extremely specific for the comic book fans. Something that is maybe not immediately obvious from the movies, but something like I do not remember my past because I was a weapon made by Project X.
Sure.
Something like that.
C'est abertut.
Mon Dieu.
I like that he sounds like the Pink Panther when you do the accent.
Yeah, I don't actually even know if that's French Canadian. It's some. I don't even know if I'm doing a French accent.
There are like 10 different ways to make fun of a French accent.
Yeah. Oh!
Maybe that's the noise that his claws make instead of ching ching. Ho ho!
Ha ha! I'm wondering if there is a word, an X-Men word that would be used where because of his accent people can't understand him or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mutant. I am a mutant.
Mouton.
Wolverine, what are you trying to say here? We are all mutants. I'm a mutant. Magneto's a mutant. Sabretooth's a mutant. Us
might be it.
Us people. We are mutants.
Yeah, that's good.
And then he's like, "Is it my accent?" Like, no, we just don't understand why you're telling us that you're a mutant. We know. Why?
We know we're mutants.
All right. Well, actually, then if there's no notes on that, then I could throw in another slightly related thing that I just thought about. When I was younger, I had a speech impediment. I did not know how to make a TH sound, and I would make a Z sound instead. And so I sounded like a little French boy. I was like, "Mama, I want that." That's all. That's just a true thing about me.
I
also had a
great.
lisp.
You had a lisp?
I had a lisp, and I couldn't say TH sounds.
Is the lisp related to the French accent that you were forced into as a child, or is that just an extra detail?
No, I was just throwing that in there. This is just more of a memory. I was like, "Oh, that's a funny thing." I sound like a French man.
Well, they could also make you sound German too, right?
Yes.
With
Sure.
the Z,
Yeah.
with the Z sound. So maybe there's something funny to like this little like militant baby running around because babies don't really
Zinc.
like. I want that. I want this stroller. And you're just going around and just sound like a little baby Hitler. And then someone from the future tried to come back in time and kill you. Possible.
He just has a speech impediment.
That.
This is the year 1986. You're not even in the wrong time.
Somebody who just made a time machine that doesn't work, and he shows up and he sees a baby going, "I think I want that." Oh my god, my time machine worked. This is great. Baby Hitler.
It's Anthony's irregular time machine. It doesn't work
Yes.
that great.
I forgot. Yeah. I just love the idea of a time machine that is so unreliable.
Go back to 1986. You look at a baby who's speaking with a German accent. You assume it's Hitler, and you try and kill him.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Anyway,
I think it's got a lot of potential. I think it's a really funny thing, and I kind of want you to talk about. It's like people didn't think I had a speech impediment anymore. They just thought that I was from a different country, and all of the sort of like benefits of that. Like maybe all the girls think you're really cultured, or they think your accent's really cute, or they grade you on a curve in school because they think you're an exchange student.
How long did this go on for, or were you just a baby?
I was under. I was like under 8 probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't trying to get with the ladies quite yet.
But I think it's funny
Pussy.
that baby Brett's trying to get with the ladies.
You weren't trying to get it wet when you were 8.
But you know what? I could easily say. But maybe if I didn't fix it, people would just think I'm cultured.
Yeah.
I do like the idea that you,
You
as
see,
a
the
kid,
best
you're
thing about
appreciating-
Pampers is... Sorry, go ahead.
What?
You see, the best thing about Pamperas is when you go wee wee, it does not go all over your sheets. And all the girls are like, ooh, who's this guy?
I like the idea that you're using it to your advantage as like a 6-year-old kid.
Somehow you got a cigarette. That's how French you
It's a
sounded.
candy cigarette that you're smoking.
Just bragging about how he shits his pants, but doesn't get all over his bed. The girls are like, who is this guy?
Maybe the angle you can take is that my parents didn't take me to a speech pathologist to get it fixed because they liked how it sounded to have this really cool French baby. You know?
Oh, they were exploiting you?
Yeah.
Yep. So he's got me cigarettes instead. Just leaned into it.
That's great.
I think you try to pick up chicks with your cultured accent is hilarious. That's the way to go. Picking up little 5-year-olds, acting like, because guys have done that in their adult lives. They've pretended to have accents, to like hit on girls for whatever reason. That's been a thing. I just think it's funny if you lean into it as a 4-year-old.
Okay,
Going to preschool.
yeah, I like it. Thanks, guys. I got one more here. This is going to be a repass at a joke. Rob gave me a note that I think might have helped fix it. I didn't really have a punchline last time, but I'll give it a go this time. I don't like that you can't tell that people are dumb without talking to them. Like if you just look at somebody, you can kind of tell their age. But sometimes I see a guy, he's got like a nice haircut, he's got a nice suit on, his clothes are ironed, his shoes are shined. And I'm like, this guy probably knows what's going on. I'm like, excuse me, is the F train running? And he's like, I have a pet duck. His name is Kitty Cat. He's a hermit crab.
The animals. I helped you with this joke.
You actually said, I think you're very good at coming up with non sequitur examples. And I was like, yeah, I am. I think I didn't even do the wackiness of the voice that I had planned.
Did I come up with? Like, hermit crab or duck?
I was all you. Like, can you put hermit crab in there? We're going to try it again. So I see a guy. He's got a nice suit on, nice haircut. His shoes are shine. I'm like, does the F train running? He's like, I have a kitty cat. His name is Hermit Crab. He's a duck. There we go. That was the voice more I was thinking. I just think of
change the order of the
picturing
animal.
this guy.
Yes.
I had to keep it fresh. And I couldn't remember.
Every single time you do a different order. It's like the Jarb machine.
I like the first order, but I like the second voice. I like
the voice. I was what was missing. That is important to me to picture a nicely groomed guy who looks like he has together. Go, I have a pet duck. When you ask him a question about the train,
I like it. I don't know.
Oh, that's fun.
And I remember this episode where you brought this in.
I think it was an early one. So it works for you. Works for you.
You know what? What it makes me want you to build up the misdirect slightly more, where you're getting everybody on board with.
Wearing glasses too.
I like that as an afterthought.
Yes.
You do the whole thing, and then at the end, and he was wearing glasses.
Maybe in between two.
Wearing glasses.
I have a pet duck. His name is Kitty Cat. He's wearing glasses, by the way. He's a hermit crab.
That works too. I like that.
This guy doesn't sound so dumb as just from the South.
He's polishing his glasses.
I have a pet duck.
Oh man, that's funny.
You like to ski?
The premise of this joke is you can't tell how intelligent somebody is based on the way they look, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here.
But I wish I could.
I don't know why this is bothering me because, like, I mean, people experience this. You experience it on dates a lot, and girls complain about this as well. Where it's just like you look at a guy and you're like, "Oh, this is someone," and then you start talking, you're like, "Ah, this guy's a moron." And it's similarly like frustrating if with a girl and if you're about to go on a date with her. But what you're saying, your setup sounds almost less relatable. It's as if it's this thing that only you are experiencing. I don't know if that is ringing true for the other guys. it almost seems like I think that you're going to say some new phenomenon I've never heard before, but then instead you just make it so much stupider. I can't tell if I want you to make it the setup more like universal, and obviously everyone goes through this type of thing. I don't know.
I mean, definitely that seems counter. To help with the misdirection.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I could just
more obvious.
do that frame-wise. I could say, you guys know it. You see a guy, he's wearing a nice pair of shoes, he's got a nice haircut. You go up to him, you ask him if he knows if the F train's running, and then he says something like, "I have a pet duck."
Yes. Well, you could even start with the "you guys know" and then go into like a personal anecdote, or like one time I saw a guy who whatever. So that way, in our minds, it's still a very real human who you really ran into, and we're convinced that this actually happened, but it's related to an experience that we've all had. We're like, I've had that. I don't know if that's helpful to the joke or not. I really don't.
Yeah, I feel like that will fall into the trap of something you told me earlier, which is, if you make it specific, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But if you make it a relatability, you have to be on point.
Yeah.
So it will surprise them, but I don't think it'll track for people.
Totally.
I mean, who knows?
I don't think that you need it to be an interaction that you had. Like in both versions of that joke, you keep on saying like, and then I go up to him and I say, "Do you know where the F train is?" But all you need to say is, when you like see somebody who's like really well dressed and their shoes are shined and everything, but as soon as they open their mouth, they're like, blah blah blah. And because like one of the things that I was having a problem with was, is there a person that's that dumb who isn't like mentally deficient, who when you ask them, "Do you know where the F train is?" they say, "I have a pet duck."
But I kind of like that I'm asking him a question that he is not answering at all.
Yes. Yeah. And I also enjoy the fact that the way you do tell it, and this is why I don't want you to really mess with it, but the way you do tell it, you are telling what we believe is a real story. Which is what makes the glasses thing work, etc. That's the only reason why I was saying maybe if you were to make it more obvious that you would say, how when you blah blah blah, and then you go like, I had one time I walked with this guy, and then you just tell the story as is. If you were to change anything at all, I don't know. It's so goofy and silly and fun. I really do enjoy it, especially with he's wearing glasses, by the way.
I love that.
So that's what you're just piling on why you think he's wearing glasses, by the way.
Is there another mark of something that would make somebody kind of seem like they have their shit together, or they're
get a briefcase?
Right?
If you don't have any more, briefcase is great. If you don't have any more, I think you could take some of the details that you front loaded and actually sprinkle them on later as more and more tags. So you can keep on giving him more lines. Be like, he had glasses, by the way. I think the president is going to come from the moon next year, but he had like these really shiny shoes. They were actually polished really good. So that's why that's what I first noticed about him. I think the more people are my friends.
He had a copy of The Economist.
You keep cutting back and forth to the reasons why you approached him.
Yeah. That's good.
Gosh.
I like interspersing the nonsense with all, all the reasons he misjudged.
Yeah, that'll be a format I've never really tried before. That would be fun to do.
Yeah. That's making me like really enjoy that.
Yeah, I think
I could go on forever like that.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it just doesn't have to stop.
Do a full hour.
It'll be your Larry the Cable Guy. You just turn into this guy.
Yeah.
It is sort of what Eddie Murphy did on his albums, where he did like the last half was basically just all an impression of his dad.
Oh yeah, that really long.
You guys got that was my dad?
How am I going to raise a baby?
I have a pet duck. No, it's your child. This is Brett.
Brett Duck.
I have a hermit crab named Brett Duck.
Brett Duck.
If he's not a duck, how come he says his words weird?
Yeah, I still think you should play around with the justification, but it's obviously a very funny character and everything.
The only justification I need is getting to making that guy say it's speaking that voice.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Do you guys ever notice how sometimes people will be like, I have a pet duck?
Nope.
There's a justification. That's it.
No, I need that guy specifically. You guys ever notice that you see a guy, he's got a nice suit on? Yeah, I need that guy.
That's great.
All right. Well, that was it for me. And that was it for all of us, because this is the end of the show.
Okay, nice. We have a wonderful outro already pre-recorded for you, so go ahead and enjoy that.
How's it going, everybody? Thank you so much for watching. We just want to remind you that we have a live Zoom show coming up on February 23rd at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can get tickets at nowheretime.com. It's our second live show. Our first one was awesome. You definitely want to come check it out. We're pitching jokes live. You can laugh along with us. One member of our Patreon will get to pitch a joke as well. People contribute in the comments. It's super fun, so come check it out. February 23rd, 9 p.m. Eastern. These guys have helped zero in this pitch.
Oh, was I supposed to do something?
No,
We've been
that's
doing.
okay. No, we got it.
You can't see us doing our funny reactions to what you're saying.
It's good enough.